Coming up on DC News Now at 4. A month into the new year, and data shows most major crime is down in the district. But do people feel safe? Plus, it's Groundhog Day. Are we in for an early spring?
A prediction has been made, Mr. President.
Or 6 more weeks of winter?
We're going to start out chilly to begin the weekend, but we'll let you know when temperatures will start to warm up.
Then, is your child battling an illness?
Lots of phone calls with concern.
It could be any number of things. We're comparing symptoms in this week's What's Going Around. And DC News Now is honoring Black history. See how one nonprofit is helping young people empower their community.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thanks for joining us on this Friday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Annalisa Gale. Breaking this afternoon, members of Montgomery County's Board of Education now are meeting behind closed doors. This meeting comes amid a recent push to oust the school system superintendent.
Yeah, our Randy Bass was there as board members voted to meet behind closed doors, and she joins us live outside of the meeting in Rockville. Randy, what's the latest?
Yeah, Mark and Annalisa, right now those school board members have been meeting inside this building for that surprise closed session for about the last 2 hours. They voted to move that meeting behind closed doors right around 2:15 this afternoon. Along with those board members here, so were supporters of the school system superintendent, Dr. Monifa McKnight. We were there as it all happened. Right now, though, not exactly clear if her future is what's being discussed, but it has certainly been a big headline in recent days. McKnight supporters here today have been very vocal over the last week and a half, since several members of the school board last week called for her to step down from her position as superintendent. This comes as the school system faces backlash for its handling of employee complaints and allegations of harassment and retaliation. McKnight supporters had some very strong words for the school board today.
Lynching. They are lynching her when she has tried to do everything she can and has put herself out on the limb now. And we stopped lynching people, black folks, back in years ago. So we are very concerned.
The investigation instigated by the board, heavily redacted, does not conclude that Dr. McKnight is responsible for anything.
Understand.
Again, that closed door meeting not announced to the public, signaling what could be a sensitive, urgent situation unfolding here in Montgomery County. Now, we did try to get in touch with some of those board members before this meeting here today. We were not able to reach them. We will be out here through the evening waiting for those board members to come out, and we'll let you know as soon as we hear from them. Live in Rockville, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thanks so much. And switching gears on this Friday, a live look outside at Roslyn here at 4-3. A little bit of sun. We didn't see much today.
To me, it looks partly sunny. To others, it may be different. Let's head over to meteorologist Damon Madsen with the first look at our forecast. Damon, what does it look like to you?
Well, I would say, Mark, you're right. Compared to what we saw at noon, this is a little bit nicer. Indeed, yeah, the sunshine is slowly starting to work its way back. And right at the end of the day here, we're not going to see a whole lot. More of that clearing will take place tonight, giving us a sunny weekend ahead. But, yeah, in the meantime, we are trying to clear out the clouds from a cold front that swept through this morning. It brought about a little bit of rainfall to portions of the region, but barely enough to wet your whistle out there. We only got 1/100 of an inch at most. Back up toward northeastern Maryland, it was just a few sprinkles at the end of the day in and around the DC metro and back to the west as well. So very little rainfall, but the clouds certainly held on for most of the day. But notice how over the last couple of hours that cloud deck has started to fall apart across the I-66 corridor up to the north toward north central Maryland as well. So many of us getting just a glimpse of that sunshine here with about an hour and a half left before that sun sets. Definitely better than nothing at this point, no doubt. And the sun will help make it feel a little bit better out there. We've had some rather breezy winds throughout the day, making it feel chilly Wind speeds still around 10 to 20 miles per hour. But as we go throughout the rest of your evening here, not only are the clouds going to continue to break up, but we will see those winds calm down also at about the same time. So as temperatures fall down into the 30s once again, it won't be feeling quite as chilly with that wind finally starting to calm down. Now, with all of this clearing taking shape, does that mean we actually will have a rather sunny weekend ahead of us? And when is the next time we have to worry about any sort of precipitation? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. All noon this afternoon, 3 people arrested and charged for running a high-end brothel network in Virginia. They've been indicted by a grand jury. Han Lee, James Lee, and Young Lee each face charges connected to running the prostitution network and money laundering. Charging documents allege the 3 used high-end apartment complexes in Tysons and in Boston, Massachusetts as a stay-in brothel for clients, and they would allegedly fly in women to these locations for engagement with their clients. They each face up to 25 years in prison and up to $750,000 in fines. Well, 2 people are injured in connection to a stabbing at the Hampton Inn in Frederick, Maryland. It happened overnight on Opossum Town Pike. A man and a woman were found stabbed. Police say they both were flown to a hospital and are in serious condition. Police believe the stabbing is domestic related. The investigation continues.
All right. Well, after last year's violent crime surge, the most homicides in 20 years, data now shows crime in the nation's capital is down in the first month of the year. Yeah,
every major crime category is down except the robbery and theft, and that includes homicides, which have decreased by 50% compared to this time last year, with just 9 compared to 18 in 2023. But does the public feel safe?
Our political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming spent the day talking to people in the district. He's live outside police headquarters tonight. Now, Leonard, what is the data signaling to people you spoke to?
Mark and Annalisa, violent crime is down 7% compared to a whopping 39% in last year compared to the year before that in 2022. And despite the crime numbers, people I talk to around this city say they still don't feel safe, but they're optimistic perhaps that the numbers will continue to trend downward.
I feel like the numbers are not real to me.
Crime is down in the nation's capital according to police statistics, but Phyllis Mitchell of Southeast DC says she doesn't feel safe.
Because there's still a lot of crime going on. The youngsters are still killing each other. Older people like me are scared to come out.
So far in January, homicides are down along with assaults with a dangerous weapon, motor vehicle theft, and burglary. Only robbery is up 6% from last year and theft at 15% higher than last year. Several people decline to go on camera, but say they don't feel safe even with the crime numbers trending down.
We're living in a time where you think things would be getting better, but they're not.
Yes, because it's going down from last year, so it's going down good.
Chrissy Blaine from Southeast DC says she does see a change in crime.
You see the cops on every corner in the morning and at night. Yeah, I do feel safe.
I just spoke with DC Police Chief Pamela Smith in the police headquarters behind me, and you will hear from her in the next hour. She says some of the partnerships and strategies are taking root and starting to work, but juvenile crime is a problem, and that's why you see an increase in robberies and thefts, and that's something that she wants to deal with going forward. Reporting at DC Police Headquarters, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
All right, Leonard, thank you. Well, developing now a push to eliminate junk fees in the Commonwealth. State Senator Stella Pekarsky is leading an effort to amend Virginia's Consumer Protection Act. It would make it illegal for businesses to offer any goods or services without, quote, prominently displaying the total price, which shall include all mandatory fees or charges other than taxes imposed. Now, the bill comes as federal regulators have proposed similar measures to crack down on fees that often aren't disclosed at the beginning of a transaction.
Charge whatever you're going to charge, and whatever that is, give it to the consumer right up front so they can budget, they can plan, there's transparency for them, and they don't have to spend their time going through an entire transaction just to find out maybe at the end that they can't afford what they thought was the price of a good or service.
The bill has already passed a Senate committee earlier this week. It now heads to the Senate floor for a vote.
It's Punxsutawney Phil!
Well, the nation's most unique weather forecaster coming out of his hole to make this year's weather prediction. It's an early spring or 6 more weeks of winter.
What this weather did not provide is a shadow or reason to hide. Glad tidings on this Groundhog Day. An early spring is on the way.
Plus, here in the district, Potomac Phil also made his prediction in DuPont Circle.
Potomac Phil did not see his shadow. So it's going to be an early spring. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, well, there you have it. Both Punxsutawney Phil and Potomac Phil predicting an early spring. We'll have a check-in with Damon to get his prediction, and that's coming up after the break.
I was just asking if you've ever been to the area where...
Punxsutawney?
Yeah.
No, that's heading towards western Pennsylvania. I've never made that trip.
All right, we got to get you out there.